a few guys that maybe we could touch upon, since we've almost touched upon everybody on the roster. Um, talk about the depth of this team. And when you have a situation essentially where you can look at maybe Terrence Davis is kind of a second unit guy, he's going to be utilized. But, think about Terrence Davis. You think about Alex Len, and you think about maybe a guy like Kent Bazemore and even Akpala, because I was talking about, they might be between them suiting up or not, you think about these guys, and it's like, particularly Davis, Len, and Bazemore, and it's like depth pieces, and add Delly in there too. That's great. I mean, like, what the heck? Like, those guys are all steady forces that are going to be able to, like, Davis, in Davis's case, he's going to go out there and be effective. In Bazemore's case, he's going to go out there and not hurt you, and even when he's not playing, he's going to help you. Len, he goes in there. I mean, he's also great in the pick and roll game. He's a big guy. He adds some rim protection. You see him block Damian Lillard on Sunday? That was great. I think Apollo was startled when he found out that Len was on his back. He was backing up as Lillard came to the rim, and Len came up from backside to help and swatted that sucker away. And then he came up on the other end and had a dunk. I mean, like, we talk about all the Len, I was gonna say all the time, all the Len, but all the time, Alex Len is just like Delly in terms of being a third point guard. Len is just the ideal guy to be, at the five. I mean, it's as the third five. And, the depth of this team is just, I don't know. Again, it's like one of those things where it's just like, you just haven't seen this. And so it's interesting,
Yeah, the depth. I mean, like you're saying, just looking at those third string people like in Davis and Lynn and even Dellavedova, it's just so much deeper than we've had in a long time. And like legitimately, it's not like, oh, we got Hassan Whiteside at the when he's kind of like a useless player in the league. It's like these are real NBA talent on your bench. Like Monk, Holmes, and Mitchell is a pretty good bench alone right there. I mean, those are two guys that could be starting in this league. Um, no, the depth it's really encouraging, and it's going to keep people on their toes. I mean, I think Lynn can be a second string center on a lot of teams, and if Holmes starts, I'm not saying Holmes would, but just like if he does, then he knows Lynn's right behind him, waiting to get those minutes, and especially at that two spot, like Davis, he's probably the third stringer, like in quotes. I feel like he's going to get more minutes than Lynn will, but like if Monk or Herter start slacking, then Davis is right there, ready to scoop up those minutes. So, like we've been talking about this like training camp is a friendly competition. That's gonna roll over into the regular season and hopefully make everyone play better. That competitiveness to stay on the floor.
Yeah. I think one note about Terrence Davis is I think Terrence Davis knows that he's figuring it out. He's known it from the start. He was the one that started saying healthy competition from the beginning of camp. And he saw it firsthand again on Sunday. He I think gave up 3 easy baskets, one in particular where he just completely lost his man, and timeout and got pulled. And he was playing well. Like I said, I mean, he looked like a good guy with the ball in his hands. He was hitting his threes. He looked good, but he made those mistakes that were really big no-nos in the eyes of Mike Brown. And he noted it after the game that, like, accountability is a big deal. And so just that note that kind of spreads throughout the team. I'm sure that's the whole mentality. That's the understanding. That's the reality. And I mean, I don't know. I think that's going to bring out the best in Davis. And yeah, you're going to see a lot of 3-guard lineups, and he's going to be playing a lot. But it's important for him in particular to make sure that he's playing defense, because especially if he's technically the third shooting guard, if you have a situation where because Malik Monk's not a good defender. I think Malik Monk doesn't even really have the physical attributes to be a plus defender every night. I think he can plug in and kind of stick with his man decently and do all these things to kind of be a decent team defender, but he's not going to be a great defender. Terrence Davis actually has the potential to be a good defender. He has the 6'9" wingspan. I feel like he has everything there to be a decent on-ball defender. One of the things, obviously, as I kind of noted there, is the problem is he kind of gets a little foggy off ball. He needs to lock in there, because if Monk is having a bad shooting night, and you're not getting that production in the second unit from him, one of the things that's really going to push the hand to get Davis out on the floor is not only if Davis can come in and be a replacement shooter for him, but also if he can come in and play better defense. Because then all of a sudden you're looking at situations where, well, maybe Monk's not doing terribly, but maybe you need that extra defensive punch. Davis really needs to lock in on the defensive side of the ball. I've been talking it up all offseason. I was pulling my hair out watching him play defense early on on Sunday night. Because I feel like an idiot, but I'm like, Terrence Davis might be the best defender out of the 3 shooting guards. And I'm like, shit. He doesn't look like it. Not like Monk does, but nobody said Monk was going to be it. But it's just like, man, I do, but it's clear that he understands that. It's clear he's going to work on that. I expect him to be better, and I expect him to be forcing his coach's hands. I expect that if this team is going to do anything that they want to do in the win column, it's going to have to be tough distributing the minutes. It's going to have to be a tough decision.
Yeah, I mean, it will, but I seeing what Mike Brown's done so far with this team, I think he's gonna have it under control. He's a smart guy. I don't know, but you make a good point. But I guess it's up to him at this point. See what he does. But it is nice to see him put an emphasis on defense, and he won't let people get away with making bad plays.
Yeah, and you saw that with Okpala getting pulled early too.
Yeah, exactly.